It is Top Secret Tuesday on the Florida Marquee. If you are here, you are at the $10 patron level. This is the level where psychological operations are trained at just above the basic level, where operations will start to take on a more real effect in your life. Earlier today, at the YouTube channel, we talked about this headline that was put out regarding Governor Scott in Florida signing this law back in March that allowed for guns to be seized based on someone's medical history. Well, we showed very clearly that anyone getting upset by this or getting motivated by this would be suffering under the availability heuristic. That, of course, is taking limited information or vivid or recent information and overweighting it in your calculus of things. And we went through step by step in the free video showing the numbers, how even with seizing 4 guns a day, ad on infinitum, it would take 200 and I think it was 38 or 283 years to seize all of the guns that are now in Florida, much less if there were any new ones produced. And even if we were wrong by a factor of 10, meaning they would step up seizure rates to 40, it would still take 24 years, assuming no new production. Now, what I didn't share in that video was one of the websites that I used was actually running a PSYOP of its own. And it took a little bit of looking into it to see it. But in this map, now this is a hunting website, very pro-gun website, and they are trying to make you believe the statistics aren't what they are, when they truly are what they are. And it says it right up here. It says in 2017, Texas, with its large population of nearly 28.3 million people, it heads the list with 588,000 registered firearms. That's about 1 in every 47 persons. Now think about that. 1 in every 47 persons in Texas owning a gun. But if you believe that theory, they're saying the facts, the numbers, are a theory. Then we might suggest you walk into a restaurant hosting 50 Texans and try to stick up the place. Then please report back to us if only 1 gun was pointed at your face 5 seconds later. The likelihood of any gun being pointed at your face would be infinitesimal in this particular case, because those numbers aren't spread out evenly. So here they are literally making comment that argues with their own facts. Now, if you don't believe these facts about that, what they're saying is that crime in Texas is much, much, much lower because of all of the gun ownership, which literally is the exact opposite of the case. And these are facts. Property crime comparison per 1,000 residents. 27.6 in Texas. The national average is 25. Burglary. Rate per 1,000. In Texas, 5.34. Everywhere else, 4.69. The only statistic here that Texas leads in is the crimes per square mile, which takes into account all of the vast uninhabited areas of Texas, and even then it's only barely below the median at 30 with 31.9. You are much more likely to have something stolen. For example, theft, 19.78 in Texas, 17.45 in the rest of the United States. Motor vehicle theft, 2.48 in Texas, 2.37 in the rest of the United States. Rape, the same way. 0.48 in Texas, 0.4 in the rest of the country. 1.2 for robbery, 1.03 rest of the country. 2.62 for assault, 2.49 the rest of the country. In literally every statistic, other than measuring by square miles, Texas is a more violent place, a less safe place, than the rest of the country on average. And in this map's own statistics, it shows that. And in the words, though, they're literally running a psyop on their own readers. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. Because it shows very clearly that the more guns mean nothing. There's, let's see, 588,000 guns here and 344,000 guns here, but the crime rates here are higher than virtually everywhere else, and markedly higher in a lot of categories. But this is what happens when you have people that suffer from the availability heuristic, cognitive dissonance, and they believe a narrative put out that argues with the facts. Because why? Because they are emotionally involved in the information. Now, I'm not anti-gun. I'm not anywhere near anti-gun, believe me. But to say that Texas is safer because it has the highest grand total of guns in the state is ridiculous. There are so many other factors that go into crime rates and becoming a victim of crime than simple gun ownership. And of course, the way they skew these numbers too is funny to see, because they talk about the per capita numbers. How many guns are there for every 100 people? Because it gives them a positive number. If they tried to measure how many guns there were per person, they would have to measure it the other way. They would have to tell you how many people are there per gun, which they showed in Texas at one of the highest rates. It's every 47 people. You would have to, sorry about that, you would have to literally be going through hundreds of people to even find one. And this includes population, includes elderly, it includes children that aren't even old enough to own one. If you take into consideration the age factors and those that are, for example, in prisons or not even allowed to have one, the rates are much, 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 much lower. So, anyway, and you can do this for any state you want to. It doesn't really matter, and it's not a function of that. Texas has a lot of big cities. Texas has a lot of inner cities. They have a large population of low-income people. That has a lot more to do with crime than guns do. But we will leave that there. But availability heuristic was the subject of the day, and we can see it in so many different aspects of our life when we allow either information that's recent, information that's emotionally important to us or vivid, to skew how we see the world. And the media sure takes advantage of that every chance they get. This being all over the news, this was one of the top headlines on Fox. And of course, they're not going to actually show you the real numbers and how this seizure thing doesn't even keep up with the production rates and the people that are registering new gun owners. That this time next year, even under this law, there's going to be more guns in Florida. There's going to be more gun owners in Florida, which is a good thing, you know. But this does shut up the liberals, and that's the best part of the psychological operation, because if they ever try to come to Florida again and say, we need to do a law, it's like, oh, sorry, we already did a law, you know, move on to the next state, and they'll leave us alone. So anyway, we will leave it there. Top Secret Tuesdays, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.